After the apocalypse arrived, I awakened the most useless S-rank ability in history, Refresh. It can refresh a designated non-living object within a 1-meter radius back to its initial state, but in actual use, refreshing a book, it was still that same book. Refreshing a towel, it was still that same towel, only when refreshing air did it feel a little fresher. So by the 3rd month of the apocalypse, when I was about to starve to death, my girlfriend, who had awakened a strength-type ability, took the last of the food and got into another man's car without looking back. Before leaving, she tossed an empty instant noodle cup at my feet, like she was feeding a dog.
你的异能刷新能干什么？刷新空气嘛，跟着你只会饿死。
In despair, I stared at the empty noodle cup by my feet. A crazy idea flashed through my mind. Refresh. The next second, a rich braised beef noodle aroma burst out. Under the torn packaging were a complete noodle block and 3 seasoning packets. I froze in place. I finally understood. My ability was not refreshing air, but restoring items to their initial state. I picked up the noodle block with trembling hands. It was real, not an illusion. My ability was not useless. We had just misunderstood it all along. What restoring to the initial state meant was not going back 1 second, but returning to how it looked when it left the factory. An empty instant noodle cup. Its factory state was a sealed cup of instant noodles. Extreme excitement instantly filled my chest. I hurriedly looked around the looted convenience store. The shelves were full of torn snack bags, empty drink bottles, used battery packs. To others this was trash. To me it was an endless treasure vault. I did not rush to cook. In the apocalypse, food smells easily attract trouble. I carefully climbed to the 2nd floor storage room and blocked the only door with heavy shelves. After confirming safety, I began my experiments. I placed the empty noodle cup on the floor and silently thought refresh. A faint glow swept across the surface. In an instant, a brand new cup of braised beef noodles appeared again. Refresh again. Another cup appeared. I held back my excitement and repeated it again and again. 10 minutes later, a small mountain of 60 cups of noodles stood before me. My ability cooldown was 10 seconds, which meant as long as I wanted. Instant noodles could be generated endlessly. I then looked at an empty water bottle nearby. Refresh. A 550 milliliter bottle of purified water appeared instantly. There was also a first aid kit with only its shell left. After refreshing, a brand new first aid kit appeared in my hands, packed with all kinds of medical supplies. My breathing grew rapid. Food, water, medicine, the most precious resources in the apocalypse. To me, I could have as much as I wanted. Jenny, you said my ability was trash. One day you will all come begging me. Over the next 3 days, I locked myself in the storage room and went crazy, refreshing nonstop. The piles of empty packages in the storage room became my raw materials, everything that could fill my stomach. I refreshed into several large boxes. All kinds of drinks and bottled water filled half a corner. I also found a pile of empty battery packaging and a discarded high-power flashlight, which I refreshed back to factory condition. The light was so strong it could blind someone. Most importantly, I found an empty gas canister. After refreshing, a heavy, full feeling came through my hands. I now had a full tank of gas, paired with a portable stove from the store. I could finally eat something hot. I sealed all the windows and taped the door gaps shut. I boiled a pot of water, tore open 3 seasoning packets, and carefully put the noodle block in. When that long mist, scalding rich instant noodle aroma rushed into my nose, my tears finally fell. I cried while devouring the food. This was, since the apocalypse began, the fullest and most peaceful meal I had eaten. After eating and drinking, my strength recovered, and my mind started working again. Staying hidden here forever was not an option. This convenience store would eventually be breached, or discovered by other survivors. I needed to find a safer base, and I needed weapons. With only food and water, in the apocalypse, I would only become meat waiting to be slaughtered. So I packed everything I could carry, stuffing a huge hiking backpack full, almost burying my entire body. Carrying this heavy hope, I opened the door a crack and observed the outside world. Several zombies wandered aimlessly in the street. I took a deep breath and gripped a freshly refreshed, razor-sharp fruit knife. Leaving the convenience store was tense but safe. I used the complex terrain of the back alleys to avoid most zombies. When I ran into stragglers, I smashed them with a full can of cola, refreshed by me, then finished them with the knife while they were stunned. My destination was Blue Bay Residences in the west of the city, a famous high-end residential area, with complete security systems and tall thick walls. It should hold for a while early on. More importantly, my parents' house was there. When the apocalypse arrived, I was at school and lost contact with them. Survive and find them. That was my only obsession. The journey to Blue Bay was harder than I imagined. The city had completely collapsed. Abandoned vehicles blocked every main road. I could only travel on foot. Along the way I saw too many human tragedies. Some starved to death on the roadside. Some were torn apart by zombies, and some were killed by other humans. In a narrow alley, I saw a man with my own eyes beat another man to death with a brick for a pack of crackers. In that moment I deeply realized Jenny's betrayal was perhaps just the smallest detail in this cruel world. Here humanity had already collapsed. I wrapped myself tighter and stayed in the shadows like an insignificant rat. My backpack held unlimited food, but I dared not tell anyone the secret.